We are ready, Master.
Okay, thank you. Hello, everyone. We're here at DTT. How's it going with the 4Chi? Any questions, comments, suggestions? Yes, 7.
Hello, Emitofuo Master. This morning I had 2 interesting meditations. It seems from the other day something opened in my spine when I was trying to sit up really tall, and now I'm moving a lot. It actually feels good, but I almost feel like my body is being adjusted with all the movement. And then the second meditation, I felt like, this is crazy because I'm moving like a snake, and all of a sudden I felt like this snake was coming up, and then I started doing, I don't know, it felt like there was a snake and it was looking around, and then it went back down. And then after, I just felt such peace. And but I had a thought, like I didn't realize that maybe your self-nature can like fix physical stuff, like adjust. Can it adjust your physical problems? That's my question.
Okay. Well, what you experienced is called a snake dance. Is it cobra dance? Was it like a cobra or just snake? No, that's a crane. This is a crane. Okay. Honestly, I don't know. I have to defer to the crazy girl back there. I don't know what happened to her, but she used to, every time we had a lecture, she would roam around and roll around and, and then this way and then backwards and forward, But she was more like a gymnast. You're more like a snake. So may have something to do with your prior life. And what happened to the gymnast nowadays? The gymnast retired or what? For like 9 months, a year, I'd say. Huh? She was, everyone is getting worried. It got worse and worse, no? Yeah, okay. Say something, gymnast. 6.
Yeah, but so it got better in a sense that it's not as dramatic as the beginning. At the beginning, I was all over the place, but now I still shake, but it's in one place.
In one place?
Yes.
So it's more conventional now.
Yes. It's more subtle. But
subtle? I like subtle.
So I've retired from gymnastics, but now I do fancy dances.
Now it's more displayable on TikTok, a little bit shorter.
But I do want to say to Shannon, congratulations.
What?
Congratulations. Good things are coming for you, and it's all good. Yeah.
When it happened to you, and we told you it's a good thing, did you believe? No.
Kind of.
Kind of. Okay. Okay. Well, you got the answer. Now another point that she made is that she felt peaceful afterwards? Did you feel peaceful?
It's a mix of things. At the beginning, I was scared, and then I felt a lot of pain because it was very dramatic movement. So I would hit the floor, I would hit different parts of the room. But then, and then sometimes I would feel peaceful, but mostly I felt like something was being fixed inside of my body. So I felt a sense of relaxation afterwards, I would say.
Okay, very good. That's a complete experience right there. You're all right. When you shake like this, actually, it's fixing your body. Okay. So it's a good thing. Don't worry about it. Someday, hopefully, we'll understand why. But right now, we call it snake dance, crane style. Okay. All right. Anyone else? Yes.
Dạ kính thưa thầy, con cũng giống như cái cô Sharon, là bữa hôm ở dưới Way Mountain, cái bữa bắt đầu tiên mà thầy cho con thọ cái 42 thủ nhãn á, thì lúc đó cái con chưa có được đọc, nhưng mà con ngồi chỉ con với chị bạn ngồi để mà nghe cô Hiền Thông tụng á, thì tự nhiên con thấy cái đầu con nó lắc dữ lắm, nó quay nó lắc mà thấy đã lắm, giống như feel better, feel như là mấy cái gân xương trong đây nó sửa hay nó chỉnh sửa, rồi nó làm tay con đủ thứ, nhưng mà con không có để ý nhiều. Nhưng mà sau đó thì chị Phương Bảo chỉ nói là trời, thấy Diệu Minh thấy nhập tụ ngộ quá, sao mà làm cái gì mạnh lắm mà chị thấy lạ quá, ngộ. Thế nó rồi chắc sửa, tại vì Thùy cũng có nói cho con biết hồi đó cũng giống vậy, thì mới đầu tụi con cũng nghi tưởng bị cái gì nhập hay gì. lúc mà Thùy mới về nhà đó, gia đình tụi con nói trời chắc bị cái gì nhập hay sao, sợ quá. Nhưng mà Thùy cũng nói cho tụi con biết, thì lúc đó tụi con cũng nửa tin nửa ngờ, nhưng mà bây giờ thì đã thấy tốt hơn. Và những ngày hôm nay thì con cũng giống như là mỗi lần con trì chú thì nó giống như sửa những cái xương sống của con, nó làm rất là đau, nó bẻ những cái xương ở trong đó, nó làm bẻ những cái gân tay gân đồ, nó bẻ hết cái người của con. Nhưng mà sau đó thì cảm giác được, tuy là thấy đau, thấy ê hết cả người, thấy mệt, nhưng mà cảm thấy rất là khỏe, thấy khỏe, thấy nhẹ nhàng trong người lắm thầy. Giống như được một cái gì đó. Với lại cái hồi đó lúc con thở, khi mà con ngồi thiền á, con thở á, nó hay bị nghẹt ngay chỗ cái bao tử con á. Nhưng mà sau cái đó thì bây giờ nó đã đỡ hơn, nó khỏe rồi, và nó không có còn bị gì nữa hết. Dạ. Như là Phật.
Emitofuo, Master, I have the same problem like this lady Shannon. So a couple of days ago at Weimoten Temple, at that time, Master allowed me to receive the transmission of the 42 hands and eyes. But at that time, I have not read the text yet. I was just sitting there in the assembly with my cultivator, my friend, and listening to Venerable Shintong reciting the mantra, the verse. And all of a sudden, I feel that in my head, something is violently shake, and it's like they are trying to adjust my tendon and my bone. So I did not even pay attention to it. But then my friend told me that there's something really strange and weird, something very strong about you. And then I told her, maybe because they are something trying to adjust my posture, my body. Because at first, when I heard about similar situation happened to Thuy, at the beginning when she first came back home, she relate the story to me. So the whole family thought that she was possessed or something. But she was reassured to me that it was just a state, and I was not scared anymore. So a couple of days from now, when I was reciting, I feel like somebody is trying to prick or adjust if the bone and the tendon again. It's very painful. Sometimes it's rimming, but afterward, I feel very good, very healthy. Back in the day, I have a problem about breathing, like the air somehow stuck in the belly. And now it's become better, and the problem seems like it's been resolved.
Very good. I went to Korea and met
Qua
some
Hàn Quốc á, thầy gặp
Oh, you still have some?
cô vẫn còn muốn có.
Never mind. I met some Korean ladies who were shaking, and one of them told me that the Sunims there told her not to come to the temple anymore. And then when I was shaking as a novice at my master's temple, I asked for help. I said, what's happening to me? And no one can explain to me at all. So you have the option of stopping or continuing. That's about it. In fact, this keeps happening to many of you, which is a very, very good sign, because it's a natural occurrence, and it's a good thing for you. And the fact that so many of you brought it up is very helpful to the other people who are practicing out there. They should know there's nothing to be worried about. Okay, it's a natural occurrence, and it will. It's a good thing. There's nothing to worry about. Okay. All right. Anyone else? Yes. 8.
Yeah, yesterday during the cultivation in the afternoon, something happened. So I reported to Venerable Shenxing. She said I should share this today. So I get this the 4 chi plaques for my relatives, 2 cousins, and the rebirth plaques, and 2 cousins, 1 grandpa, and 1 auntie. So all 4 of them, they are not in the good place. And because this Mahayana Dharma assembly is about practicing together. So yesterday afternoon, I was very sincere in terms of recite Buddha's name, because I really wish Amitabha Buddha will help them, hopefully to pull them up, to pull them out of suffering, especially one of the cousins. He committed suicide 50 years ago. During the Cultural Revolution, he was being wrongly prosecuted, and he couldn't take it anymore, commits suicide by laying on the railway track. So it affects the whole family. And so yesterday I was reciting very, very, very sincerely and loud, and all of a sudden I start sobbing, and uncontrollably. And then the recitation, and it's going down to the sitting one. And so I sat down, and then yesterday it was Venerable Shenpu leading the session. And when the speed of recitation gets faster and faster, I saw the vision. I was with a group of, I was in the big group, and it was very chaotic. There was flames, lights, sparks, and everything moved super, super, super fast. Although I couldn't see Amitabha Buddha, but I felt he was there, and Master, you were there too. And so I was part of this, and going really, really fast. I felt I was being part of this team on a mission to save them. And then I told myself to stop crying because I have to focus on the task at hand. And then I started shaking like crazy, almost like riding horses. And everything was moving really fast. And then the recitation is going faster and faster. And then I told myself, you have to stop shaking. Just focus. Don't get dropped by this big entourage. And focus. And suddenly the recitation stopped. And then, but I was in the state, just clear and no leg pain, nothing.
Am I supposed to say something?
I don't know. That was just how I felt.
Okay, that's another good state. Okay, congratulations. YouTube.
Thank you, Master. We have a question from Samson Lau. Emitofuo, Master. In a previous Pure Land lecture, you talked about Amitabha's list of people who he will come and bring to Pure Land once they pass away. How can one get on this list? Is it through the Buddha recitation samadhi? Thank you, Master.
Okay. It's an analogy. I don't think Amitabha Buddha needs a list. The list is for your reference. Okay. Amitabha, I believe, uses Chromebook. Apple stocks are going through the roof right now, so no need to more promotions. So I think Amitabha doesn't really need a list to know. He just knows. Okay, so by the time at your time of death, the people on this so-called list will their names will come up on Amitabha Buddha's Chromebook, and then he'll come around and to them and to bring them back to the Pure Land. That's the process. And so this list here is you get put on there by self-help or by others' help. Self-help means that you're able to get on the list yourself. You're able to get on the list yourself by practicing yourself. So in our style of practice, especially in Pure Land Dharma Door, we teach you one single Dharma Door, which is to recite the Buddha's name, or One Yin's name, and so forth, or Great Strength's name. And those names, if you recite, will help you enter the recitation samadhi. Okay? And when you enter that for even 1 split second, and that will put you on the list. It's not like Amitabha Buddha, the Amitabha Sutra, was you recite for 1 day, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days, and so forth. It's the general description where that part is to encourage you that when you recite the Buddha's name, you want to do it 1 day, okay, or 2 days. That's the meaning. If you do half a day, then it takes a little bit longer, okay, and so forth. And so, the list is by you or by your own efforts. That's called self-help. That's the nature of the Buddhist practices. You practice because you're developing the ability to help yourself, whether it's through reciting a Buddha's name, whether it's mantras and so forth. Okay? And the other side of the Pure Land Dharma door is that for those of us who cannot help ourselves, who are unable to help ourselves, for whatever the reasons, maybe they don't have time to practice, maybe they don't believe. They said this is superstition. For whatever the reasons, they cannot get on the list. And therefore, the Buddha is very compassionate, and he devised for the Pure Land Dharma door for others to help them, to help put them on the list. Okay, and so that's what is not really often explained in Asian Buddhism. Asian Buddhism, they typically tell you to recite the Buddha's name and bow, whatever, in order to go to the Pure Land. And you need to do with utmost sincerity, in earnest, and all those things. Is it 习念, 急念, okay? You recite with a sense of urgency. It's kind of uncool. You recite the Buddha's name with a sense of urgency. The Buddha's name is such a beautiful, beautiful thing, and you recite with urgency. I find it uncool, okay? Too Chinese for me. But that's exactly what the Chinese Pure Land Buddhism teaches in the annals, in their scriptures. And so that's why I started by learning as well. I learned that. I learned the Chinese teachings, and so I understood that part where you you manage to put yourself on the list, okay, by entering this samadhi. Okay. On the other hand, very few teachers could explain to you that you could use others' help to get on the list. In particular, my Chinese master, Master YongHua, didn't really elaborate at all about others' help. As he followed the traditional Chinese style of explaining Pure Land Buddhism. Okay, so that's why he glossed on that, and he actually explained it in a way, but he never really emphasized it. A lot of his Pure Land teachings are dispersed throughout all his Dharma explanations, his lectures, and so forth. I read a lot of them, I listened to a lot of them. That's why I called them. I say, so you did mention that over there, did mention over here, and so forth. So over the years, I was able to ascertain that his Pure Land Dharma teaching is actually very comprehensive. It's just that it never emphasized make it simple for us, Westerners, excuse me, Westerners. You can get to do it yourself, or if you can't, you can get others' help. Okay, yeah, and so it is. So I know that Master YongHua can that can help others get to the Pure Land. What I don't understand is why he didn't teach them at all. Okay? My first reaction is, this is such a powerful part of the Dharma. Why is that you don't allow your students to do the 49-day thing? Okay? Buddhism in Buddhist temples is one of the biggest services we do for everyone, not just for the Buddhists. That when people die, they should definitely, I can't stress this often enough, I will keep on doing it over and over again, even if only one new person hears it tonight, or maybe in the future because they tune on to this today's video. It's worth repeating. This is very, very important contribution of Buddhism to the world, to alleviate your suffering, in the sense that if people die, doesn't matter what your whatever your religious persuasion, your faith is, you should go also to Buddhist temples, as many temples as possible if you can afford it or you have the opportunity, and ask the temples to help, because this is when your loved ones or your deceased or your friends really, really can use the help. That's others' help. Okay? And so the 49 days recitation from the Buddhist temples, whether it's Hinayana, it's funny, the Hinayana temples are doing it now by popular request, but it's still a good thing. Mahayana temples and so forth. It's a real, real good thing. Okay? So if you are like Catholic and you're Mormon and you're afraid to be judged, you can stealthily, go online and request, or go to a temple and request, because it makes a huge difference for the deceased. That's very important to know. And I don't understand why my teacher did not even allow his temples to do the 49-day service. Okay, and so I had some doubts myself until I saw some results, and so that's very important. And on the other hand, I later figured out, because later their disciples did something that confirmed to me why, that he didn't allow them to do that. Okay, and that's between me and them. As far as others' help, this is something that Master YongHua really, really didn't stress enough. And this is something that we developed over time, because our disciples are very demanding. They are, the more you tell them, the more they want to know. They want more and more, and so forth. And so that's why this all this help here, getting put on the list, is something that we develop over time, because I wasn't sure that it's possible. So it took us time to develop it and to ascertain that it actually works. Okay? So that's the others. You can find another temple in general, and find a temple only the Buddhists can help, as far as I know. whatever knowledge I have, I will only transmit it to a monk or a nun. I will never transmit it to that skill, that knowledge to a layperson. Because Pure Land Buddhism is being distorted by greedy monks, greedy nuns, and greedy lay people. And it's too bad, too sad. It's because of the unclear explanations of the people. Our Buddhist disciples are being preyed upon because of their desperation. They suffer so much, they have no relief from the temples. So the last resort they have is that, okay, I heard of this beautiful thing called Western Bliss Pure Land. I'd like to go there. And so they're being preyed upon by these people who teach them and take advantage of them. Okay? So that's why. Hopefully, I challenge you to get better and better so that you can be trained on how to do that. I mean, monks and nuns only. Yes, question here, 7.
Master, I have 2 questions. The first one is just to clarify. You said it's actually good for the deceased to get many temples help, right? Are they going to be like, they're not going to be in conflict with each other? It's actually good to get many temples help. My second, sorry.
Yes. Okay. Well, first question, answer to the first question, yes. Especially if you are unsure, okay, and you're unsure, in particular, for example, just to be blunt, okay, you go to Hinayana temple, they don't have Pure Land Buddhism, they don't have the Pure Land Dharma, okay, just because, or you go to a Chan temple, for example, okay, it happened recently, okay, just because the Dharma master is famous, Chan master, so, and people go there, the family goes there. So therefore, when someone's family died, they go to the temple and ask for help. It's a good thing to do, okay? It helps, okay? It's very useful. But if you call yourself a Chan master instead of a Pure Land master, then you're proclaiming to the world that you don't understand Pure Land Buddhism at all. Okay, and therefore I would also recommend you go to another Mahayana temple to ask for help as well. Okay, because your family is more comfortable there in that Chan temple, Hinayana temple, Mahayana temple, whatever they're comfortable with, it's okay. It's not the time to afflict them, okay? But if you yourself really feel that they could use more help, I would go to more temples, because all we're doing at the temple is creating blessings for you, okay? And so even if they don't get to go to the Pure Land, because it's not as easy as it sounds like the Asian would like you to believe, it's not that easy. And so you should try to get more help, if possible. Yes, question number 2.
My second question is that for those of us who have pre-49, and if we die after you, will you keep an eye for us as well? Where my mind is that if the answer is sort of yes, I should get as many pre-49 plaques as possible, as soon as possible.
As soon as you can afford it.
Okay. As soon as I can afford it, yes.
That's the pre-49 is actually, I came up with it because of my disciples. they said, okay, you help my father, my mother, and so forth. I can see it. They came back. Some cases they come back in the dreams and so forth. I explained to them why and so forth. So they believed it. And then they said, what about me? What's going to happen to me? Because you look like you're going to die within 10 years. That's 10 years ago. See, that's the kind of disciples we have. They feel very entitled to service. And so I said, in that case, I said, in that case, then it's another reason why we created that is because, now you ask, I remember. I'm getting old, maybe not much longer. Another problem we have is that usually, and I noticed that even in my master's temples, they would wait until after you die to go to the temple and request for help. And to me, it's nonsense. Because, so I told one day, I said, listen, your mom is dying. Your husband is about to die, one of my favorite disciples, okay? Your husband doesn't look good. Your doctor gave him 3 months to go, okay? To live. And so I said, why don't you prepare for him? And he said, okay, what do I need to do? I said, if you wait for him to die, and go to the temple like the Asians do, it's a mistake because whatever offerings or donation give to the temple after someone dies and you request a 49-day service, the deceased gets only 1/7 of the blessings that's generated. Why don't you do it before? Because you're going to give the same thing anyway. So why don't you do it beforehand so that when the temple does it, in 3 months' time or 6 months' time or whatever, then he gets 100%. Therefore, he goes a lot faster. Okay? And she did that. So that's why, that's how it started. We started because I wanted to help my disciples. I'm very simple-minded. Just a few people, so it's very easy, You know them by name, not like right now. What's your name again? Huh? Okay, so and it worked, and so they did a pre-49 and did that, and then so it worked very well over time, and eventually young people like you who says, Master, you don't look good today. You look so tired today. Are you okay? And so they said, they became worried. I said, what's going to happen to me after you die? I said, well, tough luck. I'm done. I'm out of here. As soon as I die, I'm out of here. I'm not like my teacher, my Chinese teacher, who keeps on coming back and appearing in people's dream and teaching people and helping people. I'm gone. Sayonara. Moving to Hokkaido. So they said, the young people said, what about us? Can we get a pre-49 as well? I said, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I've never done it before. So you could try, but no guarantee. And so they tried. And then what I did is that for 2 or 3 years, word spread around. So they started requesting the pre-49. The young people started requesting them. I was getting real worried. I said, my God, how do I know? Because the last thing I want to do is owe you. That meaning that I have to come back and pay you. So someone requested a pre-49 for the dog. And luckily for me, the dog died. I was so happy. I mean, strike that. I was excited, and so for 49 days I did nothing. Okay, and the dog went there. Yeah. So I knew that we lucked out once. Somehow the dog get on the list. What a relief. And then a year or two later, this is like agonizing for me. So I said, so it works on dogs. I don't know about cats. And then a year or two later, some humans died. I said, oh, goody. And another success. So a few more cases, that's when I relax. Okay. 再见. Okay, thank you for coming. Yeah. Okay, that's what happened. Yes, YouTube. Did you answer your second question? Oh, yeah, okay. YouTube, go ahead.
Thank you, Master. Samson has a question, a follow-up question. He says, Master, why is there a difference between whether one requests a pre-49-day plaque versus a regular 49-day plaque?
The regular, we set pre-49 because we want to differentiate it from the traditional Asian style of doing it, meaning they do it after people die. Okay, traditionally, someone dies, then you go to the temple and request a 49-day service. And as I explained, that is very inefficient. Okay, that's what we call the pre-49. Okay, to sort of tell people, to hint to people that it's better to get to prearrange it instead of doing the traditional way. Okay, and the deceased is much better off, far better off. Do you have another question?
Yes, Master. You have a question here from Sarah Wang, W-A-N-G. Hi, Master. After I came back from Jeju Island from Chan, I started to look out for a job opportunity according to your advice. I noticed that I have a pattern when I'm looking for a job. I want to control all the opportunities in my hand and pass as many interviews as possible so that I have control to pick the best one when I get offers. However, when I think of which offer will be my most preferred, I don't have a clear clue. I'm not sure if I want to stay in the same fintech industry or explore new opportunities in the blockchain industry. I don't have a clear idea of what I want to do in the future. How can I make the best decision for myself in this case? Thank you.
Oh, I don't know. First of all, I'm impressed that you found job offers. Nowadays, it's rather difficult unless you're into AI, I'm told. Okay, there aren't enough qualified AI professionals, but in the other sectors, there's serious cutbacks, including executive levels. So it's impressive you got a job offer. So be happy with that, okay? Don't be such a control freak. This one advice I'll give you, I think is a commonly heard advice, often heard advice, is do something that is worthwhile for you, okay? That you enjoy, have a sense, maybe even not enjoy, but have a sense of accomplishment, a sense of meaning, okay? That's important because it's a good part of the day for you, so might as well have have something meaningful. Okay, I think people put too much emphasis on liking or enjoyment. I feel that when you get older, then you realize the importance of meaning. You begin to search for meaning in life. You look back and you say, did my life mean anything? Did I make a difference? And so forth. What's my contribution? Or even if you are more ambitious, what's my legacy and so forth? So find something that will give you a sense of meaning or accomplishment, okay? And since you've been away from the job market for 2 years and you found job offers already instead of being a social influencer, you see, you're better off already. So try something you like, or you like to learn, or you enjoy doing. You might want to go into a different field or do this current field, whatever. And since you're that marketable, try again if you don't like it. So I wouldn't worry so much, okay? And finally, life to me is trial and error. People like you, who are well-educated, accomplished people, put so much pressure on yourself on having to be successful or be respected and regarded. I think that's overblown. There's no need for that. You should do something that you enjoy, and it doesn't necessarily mean good pay or big achievements, but something that you feel good about. Okay? And experiment. It's okay to fail, like you failed in your past, your current attempt to go social influencing. If you were successful, you will probably end up hating it. It will kill you. In the back, did you have a question in the back? 9.
마스터, 어제 아마 저녁 예불 때였던 것 같은데, 여기 예불이 좀 운율이 있잖아요. 뭔가 운초가 있는데 그 운율에 따라서 제가 몸이 저절로 이제 움직여지는 거를 발견을 했는데, 사실은 그 움직임이 제가 아주 예전에 아마 20여 년 전 정도였는데 기공을 했었습니다. 기공을 해서 그 후로는 안 했지만 몸에 그게 기억이 남아 있었던 것 같고, 어제 그렇게 몸의 움직임이 이렇게 자연스럽게 유연하게 따라가는데 제가 좀 컨트롤을 해서 동작이 너무 심해지지 않도록. 근데 이게 아주 예전에 했었던 그 자발 동공이구나. 이제 저절로 몸이 움직이면서 기의 흐름을 따라서 몸이 그렇게 이제 움직여지는 건데, 그런 느낌이 들었고, 사실은 제가 명상을 한다든지 하면 그 양쪽 눈썹 가운데랑 그 백회하고 손바닥에 좀 느낌이 있어요. 그 눈썹 가운데는 좀 간질간질한 그런 느낌이 있고 백회하고 손바닥에는 거기서 뭔가 약간 뚫려 있다 이제 기가 왔다 갔다 하는 그런 느낌이 있는데 여기서는 이제 그런 거를 기공 같은 거를 외도로 이제 보고 있고 저도 그 느낌을 이렇게 추구하고 싶지는 않은데 어제 그런 자발 동공을 할 때는 그냥 멈추지 않고 그냥 그 흐름대로 따라갔거든요. 왜냐면은 그 기분이 이제 괜찮았어요. 1시간 정도 좀 그렇게 하다가 말았는데 이제 예불이 끝나면서 근데 다음에 또 그런 감각이 온다면 그냥 그때는 제가 컨트롤해서 그냥 딱 멈춰버리는 게 좋을까요?
So yesterday during the evening ceremony, here the ceremony has some melody, and I found out my body naturally moves with those melody, and actually that movement is from 20 years ago. I did some qigong, and after that I didn't do that, but I think my body was remembering those movements. So my body would naturally follow those melody, and I tried to control myself to not move too much, but it would naturally, my body would move with the qi together. And actually, when I meditate, in the middle of my eyebrows and in my palm, there's some feeling. In the middle of my eyebrow, it feels ticklish, and in the middle of my palm, it feels like it's like a hole there, and the qi will move through. And I know that here you consider qigong as external stuff, and I also don't want to pursue those feelings. But yesterday, when I was moving very naturally, I didn't stop and just followed because I felt good. And then I followed those movement about an hour. And I would like to know, like next time, if I have this same situation, should I try to stop it?
Did it happen to any of you?
이거 누군가에게 일어난 적이 있나요까?
So soon. This is too fast. Something is wrong. I'm sorry, that's too fast. It must be demonic. Yeah, it's interesting you brought it up. You used to do qigong, and those movements naturally follow the qigong patterns, and that's exactly natural because the qigong movements actually are designed to unblock the qi blockages in your body. I don't practice qigong, but doesn't stop me from commenting. Okay, and so that's why it's a natural. You recognize some of it as actually qigong, but actually it's more. There's some movements you don't recognize, yeah, or they're all qigong thing. I'm curious.
어떤 것이 궁금하시다는 거죠?
는 알지 못하는 움직임도 있었는데.
저는 그 느낌이 있으면은 기공에 대해서는 바로 알아요. 근데 제가 귀에 되게 민감한 사람은 아닌데 아까 말씀드린 그 양쪽 그 눈썹 가운데 느낌 그리고 백회 그리고 손바닥에 그런 기의 흐름 같은 거는 잘 느끼는 편이고, 아까 말씀드린 그 내추럴함 그 무브먼트 그거는 자발동공이라고 해서 몸에 있는 기의 흐름을 그냥 자발적으로 움직이게 해서 그걸 따라가면서 제가 했었던 기공은 좀 건강을 추구하는 그런 기공이라서 그렇게 하면서 좀 힐링이 되는 그런 이렇게 프로세스가 있기 때문에 그렇게 거기서는 하고 있고 저는 이제 그런 게 일어나면은 바로 알아차리기는 합니다. 근데 제가 궁금한 거는 이게 이제 외도 같은데 여기서는 그거를 그냥 그런 게 만약에 또 닥친다면 그냥 제가 컨트롤해서 스탑하는 게 좋을지 그게 궁금합니다.
So I'm not very sensitive to qi, but when the qi gong in the middle of my eyebrow or top of my head or in my palm, I feel very well. And yesterday it happened. It's like it's just following my natural qi movement inside my body. And
Right,
the qigong
okay.
I did was for the health. So the process was to heal my body. But
Okay.
what I want to know is that here we consider it an externalist. And so that's why I want to know if this happens again, do I have to control myself and try to stop it?
Definitely, you're an externalist.
확실히 외도구만.
But that's my point. My point is that she says she recognized those movements were like Qigong patterns, Qigong movements, but I clarify with her it's just not all of them are Qigong movement. There are quite a few that's not Qigong movements, okay? And so that's what I want to confirm with her. It's a natural. It's not the movements are not necessarily confined to Qigong, okay? Your body did those things naturally, and you recognize some of it as Qigong movement, but actually not all of them are Qigong movements, okay? So it's a good thing. You're right. It naturally, those involuntary movements actually are designed to unblock your qi blockages, okay? And much more effectively, much more ingenious than Qigong, okay? And so it's a good thing. Whether you're externalist or not, it doesn't matter. It's a good thing for you. It happens here in Buddhist temples. You call the externalist or Buddhist, so the same, as long as it's good for you. Okay? I wouldn't worry about it. And what was the question?
사실은 이제 어제 있었던 거는 몸이 그렇게 자연스럽게 움직이는 게 이게 옛날에 했었던 자발동공이구나 하는 그런 게 더 강하긴 했습니다. 그래서 뭐 기를 제가 어제 강하게 느끼고 이런 건 아니었고요. 아, 이거 옛날에 했었던 자발동공인데 이거 해서는 안 되는 거 아닌가? 그런 생각이 들었었고, 그래서 아까 마스터께서 스탑잇 하지 않으셨나요? 아, 그런 건 아니고. 그래서 마스터께서 이제 그런 움직임이 다시 또 발생을 하면 그거를 멈춰야 될지 그거를 여쭤봤었습니다.
So actually yesterday, the movement I was naturally making, I could recognize those movements. That was what I practiced a long time ago. I did recognize those movements, but I thought I shouldn't be doing this. So if those movements happen again, should I stop it?
No, don't try to stop it.
아니요, 멈추려고.
Just dance. All right? Don't worry so much. YouTube.
Thank you, Master. You have a question here from Robin's Nest. Emitofuo Master, first, I'd like to wish you a happy belated birthday. And second, I'd like to ask your opinion. My family has come to going around to temples and celebrating Buddhist holidays. We have taken a more Buddhist approach to already existing secular holidays, like Mother's Day, Father's Day, and so forth. And one of my brothers gets the heebie-jeebies when the topic of transferring merit is brought up. He's very afraid of ghosts and finds the idea of ancestor veneration taboo. Do you have any advice for how to explain transferring merit to our forefathers, that it's a good thing? My father ended his life about 6 years ago, and it's a sensitive topic in our family. My other brother and my mom don't have the same issue. Thank you.
You don't have to explain to others what you do. Okay? Try to avoid it. I personally do not try to explain to others and justify to others whether it's good or bad, if they don't ask for it. And that's what you ought to consider. You mean well, but until they want to know, there's no point in us imposing our knowledge, beliefs on others. What's the title of that movie? Live and Let Die? No, Live and Let Live. Which one do you like? I like Live and Let Die.
죽거나 죽거나.
Anyway, so let them be. You know, if they don't believe, then be sensitive and don't bring it up and don't impose upon them. There's no need to explain to him. If he's scared, let him be scared. Your brother is entitled to be scared, as far as I'm concerned. It's his life. Respect that. Okay? We are all entitled to live our lives. Okay? How we see fit. And we need to respect it. I feel that at times the Buddhists try too hard, especially the Asian Buddhists, they try so hard to help others. I feel that, who are you to feel that you need to help others? Respect their right to suffer. Respect their right to have fun according to them. And that's, to me, that's fundamental. You need to respect people for who they are instead of trying to help or make them better. Just let them be. Okay? I think to me, I learned Asian Buddhism, I find it to be deplorable. They don't respect enough the others enough. If they believe in Mormonism, they believe in being externalists, doing Qigong in a Buddhist temple, let them. Doesn't bother me. There's no harm to us and doesn't offend me at all. I even allow them to suck all the cheese at our people. You learn to fend for yourself. Master, don't, until you come to throw yourself in my feet and ask for help. I'm not going to help. Okay? It's okay. Yeah, actually, a lot of these externalists would come to Master YongHua's temple and they walk around with us and go and suck the chi through the thing here, and every 2 steps when we circumambulated, and there was 2 or 3 steps to stick. And they keep on doing that for the first day. Second day, they did it at CTTB, City in 10,000 Buddhas. See, I'm free from that. A few years ago, I refused to say the name. I don't like them. I still don't. But it doesn't bother me anymore. I just don't like you. Anyway, so I was at, I was a novice then, and this externalist, like he's sort of some kind of teacher, he walked around very, very sure himself, walking around, looking at people. So he was, first day, he walked around, he said, oh, I love this cheese, oh, this is so good. So he's sucking it, okay? And then the next night he came back and he did the same thing again. He was even a lot more intense than the night before. And so I ignored him because what else can I do? I didn't know what to do with it. And then suddenly we heard a thud. And then we looked back, the guy fell on the floor, passed out for about 1 or 2 minutes. And he came to, got up, and ran away. I think what happened is one of the nuns, because the monks are no good there. And that day, it's a regular day, so the monks are no good. So one of the nuns, I'm pretty sure, because those nuns there are very, very aggressive. Let me tell you, they scare me. They're scary. Okay, they fight with everyone. I'm better than you. Excuse me. And then I think what happened is that then they do nothing all day but meditate. As such, they have some skills. They would beat up on you if you don't behave. And so I think one of the nuns knocked him out. Which is a rather violent thing to do, If you don't like someone, why don't you lift them up in the air, push them against the wall? Take that. Instead of beating up on them. It's sort of violent. Or you beat up on him, break a leg or break an arm. I go all the way. Well, anyway, so that's what happened. So you see, it happened. People come to Master Srinath's temple to suck the cheese. They came to our Lu Mountain temple to suck the chi. And it happens. You feel free to suck as much as you can. But we didn't warn them. The more chi you suck at Lu Mountain temple, the quicker you become Buddhist. So who has the last laugh? Come and suck me. I mean, Gerard. Sorry. Did we answer all the questions? Okay, thank you. Let's move on. We're on slide 25. So this is Master YongHua says last night. He says these worms who appeared on the peach tree was there to take refuge with me. They were transported by my 10 dragon disciples, and they'll be gone the following day. And that's what happened. Okay? Continue.
One time he got ill, got a strange disease. Do you know about this? I was there when she was begging for help.
One time she got ill. The ta here is actually a she. Okay? Because I read this when I first started. I said, my glances said, he? And I couldn't understand it. The second time, I said, it's the woman. One time, she got ill. He's still talking about that that woman, that chicken woman. Okay, continue.
求你的时候啊，他说我有病啊，我的这个病啊很多啊。然后他在家里的见到人讲话大声一点点的都是难过。
When she was begging, she said that she was sick with lots of illnesses. Whenever she saw anyone at home or heard anyone talk in a slightly louder voice, she would become upset.
怕，怕，他后来跑一个角落去。后来他一般的师傅求师傅这个没事。先前咁样，佢話佢怕。
She was afraid. Yes, she was afraid. She would run to a corner to hide. Later, she came to beg Master.
Beg me, 师父, her master, not master. Okay, that's what it means, I think. That's okay, continue. It's a small detail.
At first, she said that she was afraid.
灭也都怕，开课的是灭也呢。我一个讲没听，就一条黄鼠狼，个黄鼠狼啊，想要皈依三宝，个黄鼠狼啊，就令他怕，令他灭也都怕，啊。
Let me tell you the story.
No story, let me tell you. Meaning, I know why. Continue. Mm-hmm.
There was a weasel who wanted to take refuge with this triple jewel. This weasel made her scared. It made her scared of everything.
根本初初他讲给我听啊，我看一看个姻缘还不到。
When she first told me, I saw the conditions were not ripe yet.
When she first told me, I took a look, and looked more closely, and then realized that the conditions were not ripe yet. Yeah, sounds good.
本来应该有100天的病呢，个人是才30几天。我说你等一等了，慢慢我陪你好的。
She should have been sick for 100 days. At that time was only over 30 days. Wait a little while. Gradually, I will help you get well.
等就是2月14那天，2月14那天，我说今天你这个病应该好了，你在佛前跪着拜佛了。
On February 14th, I said, "Today you should recover from your illnesses. Go kneel before the Buddhas and bow."
他拜有半个钟头，我说你好了，没事了。他即刻就那病都没了，就这么嘛。
She bowed for half an hour. She bowed for half an hour. I said, "You are well now." Immediately, she was free from all illnesses, just like that.
我个人是就还把他这黄鼠狼啊，我收他皈依了，所以收他皈依，他病就没了。以前。
At that time, I accepted her weasel and gave it refuges. That's why her illnesses went away.
然他怕，什么都怕，就跟那黄鼠狼。我有好多奇奇怪怪的事情在。
Before she was afraid of everything because of the weasel. I have many very strange experiences.
Okay.
东北呀，有一次。
Stop. Okay, thank you. Okay. Okay. So this is about the lady who's scares easily. So he's still talking about her. She got some sort of strange disease, and then she happened to ask him for help. Yes. And she says he had a lot of illnesses, and she gets scared very easily or get afflicted. And in particular, she's easily frightened, and would, in those instances, she would run to a corner to hide. I bet you she's also depressed. And later, she came to Master YongHua for help, and asked him to help with her fear. And Master YongHua looked at her. You see, she'd been coming to the temple, and she was left alone until she came and asked him for help. You see, you should all learn it from him. You don't just help people. You have to wait to be asked. Okay? So until then, embrace them. See, that's why I've been teaching you. Embrace people. They come, whatever they do, embrace them. Don't get afflicted. Okay? And so that's what he did. He said, after she asked him for help, then he looked at her and said, "Oh, your problem is you have a weasel who was interested in becoming my disciple." And the weasel here, he's referring to the weasel spirit, not a weasel. This is weasel spirit. Okay? And so these weasel spirit, they are spirits, meaning they have some spiritual penetrations. They're able to possess you. They come and jump into you. Okay, and the weasel spirit wanted to become Buddhist disciple, not just Buddhist disciples, but it wanted to take refuge with Master YongHua. And so the weasel possessed this woman, and that's how she became scared. Because, weasels. Have you ever met a weasel of a person? Okay, they're easily scared. Okay, so that's why she became easily scared of everything. And makes you wonder, how did he become a spirit? He's so scared. Every time something happens, you run to the corner. It's amazing, isn't it? Wonderful things that happen in life. That's beyond our comprehension. It's kind of cool. Okay, so he become a spirit, and then possess her. And so Master YongHua took a look at her, and this is the heavenly eye. This is why his side, they emphasize heavenly eye. Except that their heavenly eyes are not as accurate as his. Okay, so don't be so full of yourself. Just because you see a few things, you ain't seen the big picture yet, and you have a big head already. Wait until you're at this level, and then use it. Okay. And he looked and he said, "Oh, so there's a weasel here, and she was supposed to be sick for 100 days. And because she was at the temple, and she's been having blessings there and building blessings at Master Srinivas temples, actually gave her relief. And therefore, instead of being sick for 30 days or 100 days, she was to be sick for 30 days only. So he said, there's no need for you to worry. That's accord with conditions. That's be patient. And so this is part of the process as well. Part of your training is you learn and you're encouraged to be patient. Okay, to patiently endure it. It's under supervision. So, and he says, wait a little, I will eventually help you. And on a certain days, around 30 days later, he says, today you'll be free from the illness. So in order for that to happen, go bow to the Buddha. So she bowed for half an hour, and he said, you are well now. And immediately she was free from the illness. Okay, I'm not sure what happened, but he knew whether it's the end of it or whether he helped. Only he knows. Okay, and he says at the time, Master Shenhua accepted her weasel as his disciple, and that's why her illnesses went away. So it could be that his weasel spirit, as an offering to Master Shenhua, relented and forgave the debt that scared woman had towards the weasel spirit. Okay, or whatever. So she got help. And she was a weasel because of the weasel spirit. Yeah. And Master Shenhua says, you wouldn't believe it. I've seen this, so many of you. I don't remember them all anymore. Okay, it's kind of cool. That's why he doesn't watch TV anymore. He's entertained of looking at his disciples. Oh, you have a fox spirit. All right? Yeah, and that's the next section. Any questions? Continue then. We have another 15 minutes.
都是那白狐狸，狐狸精，有830几个白狐狸都归隐了。刚起这个我可的事情刚起来吓死你，吓死。
Once in Dongbei, 830 white fox spirits took refuge with me. Talking about these stories would scare you to death.
他等了3年呢，3年以前他就对人讲了，我3年以后我要皈依三宝了。
They waited 3 years. 3 years ago, the fox spirit told others, in 3 years, I am going to take refuge with the triple jewel.
我的师父要来收我来了，根本人人也不知道这个师父还变个，这个他就是一个狐狸精帮。
My master is coming to take me as a disciple. No one knew who his master was.
帮人一病也不卖钱的，灭病医就好了。
He was a fox spirit who helped cure sick people for free. Once he treated an illness, the person would recover.
我3年以后我就能同你们结缘了，我就要跟我师父去修道去了。
He said, in 3 years, I will be parting company with you all. I will be going with my master to cultivate the way.
那么3年以后，我道格到他们830几个，同时皈依。
3 years later, I arrived there, and all 830-some fox spirits took refuge at the same time.
皈依之后，我派他们到这个东北有一个雷法山，到各地去修道去。好多很奇怪的事情，人家不。
After taking refuge, I sent them to Dongbei, Mount Thunder Pagoda, to cultivate the way. There are many bizarre incidents.
不用山，有我去的，我跟他一同去的，你在不用山打坐，40几天了，那个时候很辛苦。
You don't need to check. I went there with him. You don't need to check. Just meditate. Over 40 days at that time, it was tough.
Okay. And then he told of another story of the white fox spirit taking refuge with him. Actually, quite a few of them, over 800 white fox spirits. And it's funny that we're telling those stories to those people. This is in the 70s, so he's 50 years old. Okay. There's about a fox spirit. I don't have much to add. There's a fox spirit. So there's fox spirits. The white fox spirits are actually very powerful. They have spiritual penetrations, and in particular, this one fox spirit here can heal, and he's been healing a lot of people in the area for free. So one day he said, in 3 years I will have to go, and because I'll be going with my teacher to cultivate the way. The fox spirits are actually the good guys, because he's doing the good things, his good roots matured, so he's been helping a lot of people, and probably a disciple of Master YongHua already, and so he's waiting for further instruction from Master YongHua. So 3 years later, Master YongHua came there, and that fox spirit, along with 830 odd other fox spirits, took refuge with him. That's a lot of fox spirits. How do you find a big temple big enough to? Yes. Seven.
Master, how do those fox spirits cure human beings? Are they manifesting themselves as the human form, or do human know, can see them, and how do they find out?
They can. Sometimes they can. They can manifest in a form of a human. Okay, and they have spiritual powers, and so they then appear to be a human, and then she or he will check your pulse, and interesting. Be naughty. And so it happened. It more often in China than here, because it happens here nowadays. he'll become more famous than Taylor. Okay, so it's no longer suitable. The conditions are no longer suitable. Okay, it's a different time. It's just listen to these. Oh, yeah, how cool. Okay, it only happens in China, more or less, in Dongbei, Manchuria. Yes, 8.
Master, I just would like to make a comment. There actually another gentleman was talking in addition to Venerable YongHua in this part of the conversation. For example, the following slide say like you don't need to look. That was actually another guy was talking. And no, after this one. Yeah, 你这不用看. It wasn't Master YongHua was talking. There was somebody in the audience was speaking. Confirm what he said.
Okay, so you're saying that from the tape.
Yeah, from the tape. And so
it was another
person.
Human.
Yeah.
Or is it a fox spirit?
It could be. Because he said, oh, I witnessed that, and I went there with Venerable YongHua.
Could be another fox spirit.
Yeah.
Who
There are a lot of
appeared
these,
as
strange things happened in Dongbei at that time.
a young woman now. Because it doesn't have to heal people anymore. Okay? Okay, so thank you for pointing it out for us. Very good. So actually, so Master YongHua says, so this is cool. He really sees a lot of things, and this is so beneficial. This reinforces the concept there in Chinese Buddhism, where when you hear of a great teacher, you go there. You personally make the effort to go there, okay, and ask for instructions. And that's a great tradition. And this is why, okay. So every now and then you get lucky, and you might find someone like Master YongHua, and they say, oh, very good. You come at just the right time. Now you go to Mount Thunder Pagoda to cultivate. Okay, and so it's so cool to be able to do that. Would you like to do that? You'll be so busy, let me tell you. No time for personal stuff anymore, because someone is always on the way to see you. You see, it's not just the humans like you. It's probably phony. He's bragging about himself too much, or he's too short. How could you believe such a short person? But also the fox spirits who say, oh, my teacher is coming. And 830 more oh, yeah, he's coming. So you can't eat in peace at all. You say, Master, eat some more. This is very special. From Mount Thunder Pagoda. It's so cool, huh? Okay, so Master YongHua says, I allow him to take refuge with me again, and I send him there to cultivate. I don't know why he sent him there to cultivate. He didn't explain. It's funny, these disciples of his, they're like sheeps. So he sent him Mount Thunder Pagoda to cultivate. To me, it's why. This is when you ask why. You always ask why the wrong time to me. That's why. Shut up. Yes, 8.
So in Dongbei, it's known to have many these 这个山那个山, this kind of. It's not really tall mountain. It's just more a hill, but it's very much for spiritual beings to be there cultivating.
No. Now I want to go to Dongbei instead of Beijing. I always blame myself for missing out on the Peking duck.
C'est la vie.
You can say it again. But now I feel like going to Dongbei. Would be interesting. I don't know. But why would he send him to a pagoda? That's what I don't understand. Let him keep on healing people. Yeah.
Pagoda is, at least in the Chinese Buddhist tradition, pagoda is 正腰, so it really 降服. How to say that in English?
Subdue
the ghosts and the spirits. Yeah.
It's a ta, so it's a small pagoda. Okay, small place in a mountain. All right, so there's lots of intriguing incidents and experiences in China, and they're for real. It's the Westerners probably don't believe it, and the non-Chinese will have a hard time believing it. Like the Japanese, how come it only happens to the Chinese? It never happens here in Japan. Because in Japan, you only worship the Shinto, whatever. Okay, they are very limited. So the rewards are also pretty small. All right, anyone else? Many bizarre incidents. And someone said here on slide 43, someone said, his disciple YongHua said, probably a layperson, says, I went there and to meditate with that spark spirit. It was 40 days of practice. And so you see, YongHua was surrounded by people who can really cultivate. Okay, it's kind of interesting. Okay, so this is for the next time. Thank you, everyone. Tomorrow is feedback day. So come with your homework, is give us some feedback, some complaints, some suggestions, and so forth. Share your experiences, recommendations, and so forth. If not, then we continue with this file. Okay. Okay, thank you. Yeah.